One man, one Murloc, one giant angry badger. This is Blue Please. It begins now. Yes, indeed, folks! Welcome to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com with myself, Total Biscuit. The date today is the 13th of July, 2010. It is 8 p.m. in the British Isles. It is 9 p.m. Central European Summertime. And it is 3 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. And you are here to listen to a show replacing the missing show from Friday. If you've never heard of vendor strike before, consider yourself very fortunate that you didn't have to endure it this time. I had 9 people, aside from me, in the house that could have been in the studio. It would have been a train wreck, a disaster. Horrendous, I tell you. That's generally the common theme when it comes to vendor strike, so consider yourself lucky that you did not see it. Yes, indeed. So I'm doing a show today in order to compensate for the fact that there was no Friday show. It'll be chock full of content. There'll be another show on Friday. Yep, back to the normal schedule of Blue Please, which will contain Ask the Murloc, the continuation, as well as No Cake News. There won't be any of that today, because this is an unscheduled show. But I'll be having plenty of content for you for the next hour and a half. Kicking it off with the mailbag, then going into some talk regarding what makes a terrible starting zone. I can tell you because I had the misfortune of experiencing one. And you may not have requested this segment, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to be doing that a little bit later on the show. How do you make a good one, and how do you completely screw it up? I will tell you. Also, talent changes. The best thing ever to happen to World of Warcraft? We shall see. Coming up a little bit later on the show, you should go and have a read up on that one. Big stuff over on MMO Champion. And, of course, Real ID, the debacle is now over, but we have to ask the question, what was Blizzard thinking to begin with? Yes, indeed, regardless of my, I would say, cautious support of it, simply to get rid of trolling, my god, the debacle and the fury that came down on Blizzard over that one. What were they thinking? What the hell was going on? We're talking about that a little bit later on the show. And to cap off the show, Cataclysm Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. Assuming the servers are back up, they weren't about an hour ago. They might be by the time we get there. I will be doing Cataclysm Q&A for the last 20 or so minutes of the show, so you'll be able to send in your questions for that. If you want to send in questions for the Q&A, send it over, the Murloc at CynicalBrit.com. That is the Murloc at CynicalBrit.com. That is the email address you need to talk to. Alternatively, you can send me a PM on the chat room. If you want to get into the chat room, got a full video wall of people, and I'm demonstrating that that top hat has now been acquired from the end of the Worgen starting zone. Yes, indeed. I stole it from a corpse, and I'm wearing it right now on cam. Head on over to CynicalBrit.com, click the chat button at the bottom of the screen. You click there, you will get in, and you will see. You will indeed see. As well as other people, we don't really care about them, do we? A bunch of miserable people, but it's okay, because we have the freaking Pope in the channel. Yes. His Holiness is here representing, as you can see. Feathertree has a larger beard than I was expecting, honestly. I don't think he's the real Pope. Let's get on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. People have been asking if I had a good birthday. Yes, actually, I had. I had a absolutely fantastic birthday. It was great fun. I was drunk for the vast majority of it. We did some LANing, we did some gaming. May I put out a couple of recommendations for you, ladies and gentlemen? Some good fun stuff that we played. Arkham Horror. We played the Arkham Horror board game with the Dunwich Horror expansion. Excellent game. Absolutely fantastic. We also played Battlestar Galactica with the Pegasus expansion. Wonderful board game. If you have any friends and you want to lose those friends, then play Battlestar Galactica, because one of them is a Cylon, and you have absolutely no idea who it is. And the screwing over and the drama and the politics and the distrust is fairly epic. Big fan of that one. Yes, indeed, I did just say... Epic! Oh, yes. So yeah, that's recommended. And we actually played the EVE Online card game, which was really fun. It's funny, isn't it? How the card games for MMOs tend to be more fun than the actual MMO itself. I love the World of Warcraft card game. I think it's a great game. And the EVE card game, even though it was discontinued months ago, was also really fun. So yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, that's been my weekend. Not a lot of WoW, not many videos. Those asking about videos, there's more coming up. I'm working on the Human Starting Zone tonight after the show, and I may mean to get that up overnight. Then we'll be looking at some Goblin stuff, as well as some more zones that people seem to want to have a look at. Have a look at that and see how that goes. And that about covers it, really. Aside from the whole, surgery thing. So, I was in hospital today with an appointment regarding my nose. You may have noticed in previous shows that I've been having issues with getting sort of a blockage at the back of my throat when I talk for too long. That's actually an issue with a membrane inside my sinuses. It's going to be surgically removed, which means I'm going to slice my nose in half. Yes, indeed. It's going to be fairly awesome. That's going to be happening in about a month's time, so hopefully it won't clash with the show, because I'll be anaesthetised for a good amount of that day, but we will see. In the meantime, I think we are quite done with that, so it's time for this. Did I press that button? I can't remember. I'm sure I did. I was just looking at some emails. Did I press the mail button? Whatever. I don't mind. I'm sure you can simulate it in your mind. Did it break? Okay. Right, interesting. So the mail time drop-in is broken, so I suppose I'm going to have to simulate it myself. Mail time, mail time, mail time, mail time. Here's the mail, it never fails, it makes me want to wag my tail. Here it comes, it's going to fail. Mail! Are you deafened yet? Excellent. Mail time! Right, let's have a look at the mail, shall we? I'm sure we can find it. Where are we going? Fix the previous podcast! That's a great email. It's like, fix your podcast. If it's not too much trouble, it actually is. If you want me to fix all my previous podcasts on the website, it's going to take me about 2 solid days. If you want to listen to anything old, I don't know why you want to listen to old shows anyway. Hey, here's a current affairs show from 2005. How is that relevant? If you want to go listen to it, however, go to wcradio.com. Click the WoW Radio Archives link. There is a full folder full of Blue Please stuff, Murloc stuff like, whatever they call it, Nubcake News, random images that are in there. What is this thing, anyway? That is an image of a chicken. Right, okay. Images of chickens, fair enough. Yes, it's all in there, and you can check it out. So if you want to download the stuff, that's the place to do it right now. The archiving system on the website is mostly complete for all the new stuff, but there's still an awful lot of things that do need to be added. I don't have the time to do so. I need 2 solid days to get all of that fixed up. There's like hundreds of articles I need to create. So yeah. Right, okay. Let's get on with it, shall we? Let's have a look and see what we've got in the mailbag. Quite a few things coming over the week. Obviously, the Q&A stuff I'm going to answer towards the end of the show. In the meantime, I'll be looking at the stuff that came in as regards to questions. A lot of Real ID stuff. Don't really want to discuss that for fairly obvious reasons. Why is my mailbox not loading? Move it! Move your ass! Horrendous piece of whatever it is. Ugh. Technology is the worst thing, I must say. My internet connection has been playing up for weeks now, and it's not good. Not good at all. Ah, yes. Short history of Activision Blizzard. I suppose we can talk about this a little bit. So, on Team Liquid, on the 30th of May, somebody posted a very large post about the history of Activision Blizzard. Now, this comes in from 9/11 Guilty Jerk, and he says, through Twitter today I found a very well-written article on Activision Blizzard and the slow shift in their company policy, riddled with retarded quotes from Mr. Kotick and dozens of examples of Blizzard's shift in design and loss of control. It's an excellent read, and keep in mind it's a bit long, but I think you can make a good show material once back doing regular shows. Yeah, I've read this article, and it's always difficult because, bear this in mind, correlation does not equal causation, and it never, ever has. You know what bothers me? What actually bothers me an awful lot? I don't even know if this is a plan by Activision and Blizzard to make it this way, to play heel and face on this. But here's the thing. Activision Blizzard is one company. Don't separate the two. Activision Blizzard are the same company. They merged. That's the point. That means that you can't just decide to blame Activision for the bad stuff and then praise Blizzard for the good stuff. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to pick and choose. That's exactly what they want you to do. Activision knows it has a bad rep, but Blizzard has a lot of good rep with the gamer base in general. It's built up a massive amount, a huge amount of credibility and just generally points with the gaming community. They love Blizzard. Blizzard is awesome. And here's the thing, they use it to their advantage. We can't blame Blizzard for anything, because of course Blizzard would never do such a thing. Blizzard would never desert us. Blizzard would never abandon the gamers. Absolutely not. It's Activision doing all of that. Oh yes, all Activision. But of course when something good happens, oh my god, Blizzard is so creative. They're absolutely fantastic. You know, they come up with like a cool marketing campaign, like something like the Mr. T thing, a bit like, oh, Blizzard, great. You know who organised that? It wasn't Blizzard, it was Activision. Who do you think's fronting the money for that kind of thing? The marketing is in the hands of Activision. You don't get to pick and choose. I'm sorry, you don't. It's the same company. Accept it. Activision Blizzard is the same company, and you've got to blame both, because how do you split that down the middle? You can claim all you like there's a bunch of influence from Activision, but again, it's entirely possible. Not gonna discount it at all. You know, the article's really good. I'll put it in the show notes for those of you who have not read it. But, I'm sorry, I have to say this. I do not accept that every single bad decision that has ever happened with World of Warcraft is attributable to Activision. It's garbage. It's absolute rubbish. I'm sorry, it is. I do not accept that. Some of it, maybe. Absolutely. I mean, they've said that Blizzard gets to write its own check, as far as they're concerned. It's done when it's done. I don't believe that. But also, I don't think that's necessarily Activision pressuring them. That is Blizzard either cutting corners or saying, hey, you know what? It's okay, we can do it because we've got all this credibility, and if somebody comes out and blames us, we can just say, oh, but Activision! The gamer base will blame Activision. They won't blame us because we'll be fine. No. Blizzard wants to make money just as much as Activision does. Blizzard has to make money. Do you blame them for that? I don't blame them for wanting to make money, but do you think stuff like TRH was entirely Activision's decision? Hell no, it wasn't. Ever since they started putting in premium services, this was way before Activision bought them, Blizzard like microtransactions. They love them because they know they can get away with them. Server transfers. $20. $20 to move server? It's an entirely automated procedure. It's garbage. Why would that be there? And are you going to blame Activision for that? Good luck, because that was put in years before Activision bought them out. So don't give me that. Race change, and name change, and all that other stuff, and all the customization, and blah, 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 and then starting charging for BlizzCon streaming. Do you think that was all Activision's idea? No, it wasn't. So just accept it. They are the same company. I love Blizzard as much as the next guy. Blizzard's awesome. They make some great games. They make a lot of mistakes as well. And that's what really being a fan of a company is. A fan as opposed to a fanboy. You know, fanboy, oh my god, defend everything, blah, 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 rationalize it. Cognitive dissonance going on in that little mind of yours, saying that, oh no, well, it's not Blizzard's fault, it's Activision's fault. Well, I ignore the fact that they're the same company, but hey, being a fan of a particular brand, a particular product, a particular company, a developer, is all about being able to take a step back and say, you guys are great, but you screwed up on this one, and here's why. I'm still your fan, but I am expressing my disappointment, my dismay, and indeed maybe even my anger at something you have done which screws me and everybody else over. So yeah, that's what I would ask of people. That's what I would suggest to people, is that when you look next time at the latest ridiculous decision that comes out, and there will be one, undoubtedly there will be one, you don't turn around and say, isn't Activision evil? Activision is responsible for all of this, because they're not. And honestly, you can't be a good consumer if you don't understand where the decisions are coming from. All it does is it makes you a fanboy. It makes you a white knight for a company you're never going to interact with on any personal level, and really, let's be honest, have no real investment in. So, why would you get so defensive about it? It's amazing to see people get so defensive about the slightest little things in WoW, and Blizzard is no exception. People will jump to their defense in a completely irrational manner. Hold them to account, and they will make a better product. They're grown-ups, they can handle it, and I would like it if everyone else acted like that as well. My name is Total Biscuit, and you are listening to the one and only Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com. And I'll play some Equilibrium. This goes by the name of Snuffle, and we'll be right back after this to talk to you about what makes a bad starting zone. Enjoy.